we're not equipped with any of that information as parents. I know I'm young, but my children are quite young and they live on social media. They live in the digital space. And I really must say, even as a young mother, I feel like I'm not equipped. I don't know where the boundaries are. I don't know if there should be any boundaries. For me, it's as though immediately when they're able to speak, they need to get a device because I need to make sure that they know technology and they know what's going on out there. And I think you've highlighted some very important points. And as a parent, I'm lost, as young as I am. And I believe I'm a digital nomad. I'm born in the 80s. However, I feel like with this younger generation, I'm really lost. So that's just what I wanted to say.
Thanks so much. And you know, I think we're about the same age and I'm just as lost as you are. Can you come up on the X and then please face the camera so that Bonmuntu can see you. I know you're speaking to them, but yeah.
Nkosi kakhulu Lebulela. Mandibulise. NdinguNkosazana Unikiwe Bam, founder of African Indigenous Leaders. I work closely with the traditional communities or traditional leaders or indigenous rulers and the kingdoms across the continent. Thank you so much to the panel. I just want to apologize, I came in very late, but I was very early because I just arrived makhuluma majol, angeva mpankom ondomise. I just wanted to just make one comment. I'm a product of Student Village. I'm not sure if there's anyone here who have been to the site that was called Student Village. It was mostly connecting students in the universities. And since I was studying at VETS, they used to come and do promotions. And it was a platform like where you will chat live, you will meet different people. So I just wanted to challenge SAWID on that, to say you are a big community and we cannot run away from these platforms and we cannot always use WhatsApp while we can still create the SAWID platform for networking and for building the community for SAWID, which can also be used to market products and build businesses for women. So I just wanted to make that comment, just to challenge the people that are experts in technology as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shamima. Hi.
Long time.
Very. To Dr. Prinsloo, I think, and to Shiraz, I'm sorry for what you've gone through, but I think that became innovative for you to then use technology. But to Dr. Prinsloo, I do think that if we're beginning to say that poverty is our problem, there we can actually use the tools that you actually then highlighted for us to then look at how we use that, whether it's in schools, whether it is in communities, but more importantly, given that SAWID works at a local level, then we begin to use that technology to track whatever we want. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm in the educational field, and recently we just introduced coding and robotics to our foundation phase learners. Well, it's now from foundation phase upwards. So we're still trying to navigate and to adjust to that change. But what I want to ask the panel is, my concern is AI in the educational field. It's obviously going to revolutionize it a lot. So what I'm concerned about is the manifestation of that. Is it going to cause the children to become lazy learners? Are they going to become passive, just taking in information? You guys are the experts, so I want, and if you could just give me an answer on that. Or will it be active, interactive learning that's going to stimulate them and not make them lazy, learners, passive learners. Thank you.
So we've got two questions. Is there a third one before we hand over to our panelist?
I must vote here. Hi. Thank you very much to all the panelists. My name is Mohau. I was happy to hear what Sister Pokazi was saying about families, but then it also brought a whole dialogue with me and Sakina around technology literacy. Is there any such thing as, I mean, you're talking about catfishing. What are we doing? Are we catching fish? You know what I'm saying? So we also have to understand the language when we're talking to our children and when we're having these conversations. So there must be some kind of technology literacy that we have, as well as families, in order to engage adequately, so that, we don't think we're all catching mice and all of this stuff.
Thank you. I love that. With every new thing, there's a whole lexicon that keeps us behind and just empowers us. I'm going to ask Sipokazi to answer the previous two questions. And sorry, the previous question. And Shiraz would like to respond to the active learning. And I'm sorry, I don't think anyone here I can reliably say with confidence can talk about Bitcoin. So we're not going to answer that. 1,000 apologies. Is that okay? Yeah.
As we slide away from the question of Bitcoin, I just want to make a general concept of investing, that any product or any new investment you want to go into, if there's absence of knowledge, then rather don't invest. That was what I was taught when I was going into stock exchange and trying to buy shares, and I didn't know anything about who the business is that I'm buying their shares. They said, but have you looked at their annual report? I'm like, what? They said, yes, start there so that you can know the performance of that which you're investing into. So I think the general principle is get to know Bitcoin and understand it. Don't get sold in hypers. There was a myth. Everything can be a myth. For me, my interest in Bitcoin has been the data centers that produce them and wanting to own one of them. So that's just me, from where the angle I come from. So I think that would just be my general statement, is like all other investments, like all other money generating, have the knowledge before you make the action. Then on the second one, on the parents that are on, I'm thinking at school, there's usually that lost and found bucket. Okay. The lost and, my voice is deep. The lost and found bucket. My company runs workshops and training around digital parenting. So if one is interested, and this is not it's less of a marketing, but just to try and direct people, there's the Philemon Publications Board, which I have worked with. They do a lot of profiling of digital data at the moment, in the same way they do films. They are the custodians of digital content, so that you can understand the classification, in the same way that you look at SLNV in movies. There's also classification of content. But also it is good, there's also a platform called Common Sense Media. Common Sense Media looks at also at classification of movies, what's on social media, and also knowing, even if it's categorized as, we used to call it Popeye, I don't know what, cartoons. There are cartoons that are cartoons, but the content and the way they are written, they're above the age category. The concepts that get discussed are way above the age of the child. So it's also just applying yourself and having an interest But if one would want to chat more in how you navigate that space, I'd be available to assist.
I think we've heard a few questions that kind of all speak to the same topic, especially when it comes to children and education and how we keep up with them. There's something that kind of blows my mind, which is, for most of humanity, the standard way of living was you would live the same life that your parents lived and their parents lived. And then there was a great shift after the Industrial Revolution. Every single generation that grows up now grows up in a world completely different from the one that came before them. And there's no blueprint for how you're supposed to navigate your way through life. Nobody has the answers. In fact, somebody referred to us as experts. I don't like the term expert because I don't believe there is an expert, especially for a lot of what's happening today. The closest we have to being an expert is being experienced, meaning you've made the mistakes and you've learned some lessons out of them. Speaking as a parent, the thing that I think is most important when trying to keep up with children and the world that they are growing up in, because understand that in about 10, 15 years from now, it's going to be a different world again. And in another 15 years, another world. So for me, the most important thing is teaching children the values that they need to take with them wherever they go. Because whether it's communicating socially online or, investing in a new business, whether it's Bitcoin or whatever it is, as long as your children have the values and know how to treat each other with respect and how to conduct themselves in a manner that upholds their integrity, I think that's what's critical, because those life lessons get applied to everything, no matter what it is.
We've got 5 more minutes for the end of the session. Is there any questions? Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Actually, mine is not a question. It's a comment around AIs. I was very concerned when my grandchild introduced me to it because I was saying it's gonna, I wanted to write something, right? And then my grandson introduced me to this to say, just get the synopsis, Makul. And then after that, you can be creative, right? And then I was worried about, what I was concerned about is that if we are going to be using AIs to write, meaning that most of the time when we write, there are emotions, there's a tone in it. And I was worried about the fact that it's not going to be there, meaning that it's going to be a very dry kind of material. But what I've learned in the process was that it's better for me to start to do my own creative writing and then just go to AI to get more ideas rather than starting with it. Because once I start with the AI, meaning that I'm going to be blocked, I won't be able to continue. The creative juices in me are just going to dry up. And the AI is not going to give me everything that I want. It's just going to give me the framework. Thank you.
We've got a few more.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andy Swasilinga. I'm a geospatial analyst. I deal a lot with data, so this session excites me a lot. And we've got a program that we run under an NPO called the Hub of Knowledge, where we provide GIS lessons to schools. That has been part of the curriculum from grade 8 up to grade 12. So we've been providing them with critical thinking, which is one of the skills that were mentioned here that is required. Thank you very much to the panel for the solutions that you have created. Some of us were actually thinking of creating those solutions, so you have already done that. So my question or comment is, how can we collaborate so that we can get these solutions to the communities? Because if you just work on your own, then you won't go as far as you want to implement them. So I'm welcoming businesses that want to collaborate with us, especially when it comes to technology and also teaching how technology works and how to use it. Thank you very much.
We've got 2 minutes, so 1 minute, 1 minute. Are you sure? Okay. 1 minute, 1 minute. Use the time.
So hi everyone, and as a business analyst and what do we call, in a very project-driven environment for many years, I think what she's just mentioned here is very crucial. You know, one of the few questions you would ask is, how do we reach those people that actually need the software? It's actually awesome and it's amazing that it's available and you've made it. But do we reach everybody that we need to reach, and how do we again collaborate to actually get that, to achieve that, which is critical. Okay.
Malibongwe. My name is Rashida Shabdin and I'm a women's leadership coach. My question to the panelists, thank you, panelists. It was really inspiring to listen to you. My question is it possible that technology can shed some light in the work that NGOs are doing in terms of GBV? What our experience is that we work in the dark. Every year, the minister announces that this is the rate or the prevalence of GBV in our community. And I'm asking the panelists, is it possible that all that technology can connect all the police stations along the way? And as the cases come in, we as a nation can see how the prevalence of GBV never goes down, goes up. But it can alert the different NGOs then in the different communities to say, look, we are working hard, but in this community, it's not making a difference. What can we do differently? Because annually, we are shocked with the rates of GBV. And I don't understand how every police station has a computer and why the computers are not connected. And so is there an app? Is there a way for us to not walk or work in the dark, but being informed by data? That's the question that I have. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I'm sure someone's got that app here. Someone's designed it already or is planning to. I just want to thank, Peter's not here, but the organizers will thank him. Sipokazi, thank you so much. Milani, thank you. Shiraz, thank you. I think we can all say we learned a lot from our panelists or our experienced guests, and I think we can give them a warm thank you. And lastly, not forgetting our translator. So a big thank you to her. Okay,
Thank
guys,
you.
thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
To our panel, I learned so much in this. Yes, you can hear me? Yeah. I learned so much in this last hour or so. And what's so incredible is, and what I really appreciated, is how much all the panelists related all of this technology to all of our lived experiences. And I think that, you know, the story that Shiraz told about the pen was actually so powerful, that this is technology like all the technology that we've had, and that we must learn how to harness and how to use in ways that are building for us as a society. I want to just make a couple of announcements. Firstly, Lost and Found, there's a book and a red purse that were found at the back. Please, if somebody has misplaced a black notebook and a red purse, they are in front here with me. And at the end of this, of the next panel, I will then take them to the Lost and Found if they haven't been claimed. And then also there is a black bag with a computer and a mug that is engraved with a name that was left in this room after the previous session. Please, if anybody has picked it up, please will you take it to the Lost and Found so that its owner can claim it, as well as a scarf that was in a knit material that's gray, that was also misplaced yesterday. Please, if anyone has found a gray scarf or a black bag with a computer with a mug that has a name engraved, please will you just bring that to the Lost and Found so that we can give it back to its owner. Also, a book called Engaging Families on Youth Realities that was also in the room after the last session. Please, if anyone has found those, please take them to the Lost and Found so that we'll be able to get them back to their rightful owner. Okay, thank you. I want to first request that we have a moment of silence. One of our volunteers. Oh, Sis Griselda is going to come and do that for us, actually. Thank you.
May I request that the volunteers please come to the front as arranged? I'm not seeing them. All the volunteers to the front. Come through, baby. Come. One of our sons, Nico Kosa, lost his dad. And shall we stand? And observe a moment of silence, prayers to the family. May his departed soul rest peacefully. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving that moment. These young people who've been volunteering, who've been helping all of this happen behind the scenes have been remarkable. And so our prayers, our condolences to you, Nico. We now are going to have a short video that is from the discussions that happened yesterday with the provinces. Sis Griselda is just going to tell us what the video is of, and then it'll be played now. Thank you.
Thank you for being sensitive, Dr. Mbete. The mommy genes kicked in. I can only imagine what this child is going through. When he received his payment, first payment for volunteering, just as a token, he said, "Thank goodness I'll be able to pay my dad's medical bill." Yeah. So yesterday, because life happens like that, right? You experience highs and lows, and yeah, it happens in balance, and we need to just be mindful where we at all times. Now, SAWID founder and SAWID trustees came together and decided that it's time to just recognize some of the volunteers that have been with us for 20 years in appreciation of their tireless efforts, and just looking at the respective regions and acknowledging that many of them do what they do with no resources, but they make magic. And one of the evening's highlights was the presentation of certificates and awards to coordinators. And we're not going to take much of your time. And this is what happened last night. But as that is played, I just want to quote quickly the chairperson of the SAWID Trust, saying, "Thank you for your selfless dedication, volunteering your time, your energy, and your resources. 20 years down the line, we can see the fruits of your labor. We hope you will be proud of yourself as much as we are proud of you. May the journey continue beyond 20 years." SAWID Chairperson Mamthoko Mpumlwana. Let's take a look.
Still environment, clean water, make our areas clean. So we need a clean environment. Since we're talking.
My name is Caroline Peters and I'm the Western Cape Provincial Coordinator of SAWID.
My name is Anushka Vivasome and I'm proudly representing Mauritius for the SAWID.
I am from Madagascar.
My name is Afia Wilcox and I'm from Eswatini.
Hi everyone, my name is Nobuthula Makanya Sibia. I'm from Durban and I'm the provincial coordinator for SAWID. Thank you.
My name is Emma Kalia from Malawi. I am the chairperson of the SADC Gender Protocol Alliance and also executive director, Malawi Human Rights Resource Center.
My name is Alice Banksy. I'm from Mozambique. I'm the executive director of the Gender and Sustainable Development Association, and I'm also sitting as the commissioner at the Mozambique Electoral Commission. I'm proudly serving Mozambique and the SADC as a coordinator.
My name is Ndibu Wasikova. I'm the Gauteng Provincial Coordinator of SAWID.
My name is Kusale Dwaba and I'm proudly serving SAWID in the Northwest.
My name is Sinama Semola. I'm proudly serving in Limpopo Province.
My name is Francina Sishabaka. I'm proudly a coordinator for South African Women in Dialogue in the Free State Province.
My name is Vesa Mwansa. I'm serving as the Zambia coordinator.
I am Gilwe Letabo, representing the coordinator of Northern Cape, Ms. Elizabeth Dipitu.
My name is Joyce Mkina. I am from Tanzania.
My name is Veronica Haibili and I'm the country coordinator from Namibia.
My name is Ndole Likau. I'm a coordinator in Lesotho.
I am Sharon Telemakanesa and I am the national coordinator from the Seychelles.
My name is Matlodi Jabetle, the coordinator of South African Women in Dialogue in the Northwest Province, South Africa.
I found the idea of healing from this conference absolutely empowering. Healing generational trauma, very empowering, and I feel like just its concentration on mental health and the importance of us women looking after ourselves before we look after others, really enriching. And I will definitely take this to Eswatini and use it to help young women in our country.
Our project for empowering women in political and economical and social area.
Ensuring that member states are able to stand by their obligations in terms of policy, protocols, and conventions.
Peace and stability through the process of healing in Gauteng, in particular, Frank Fisher, where I come from.
As a Sawidian, I will advance peace and security in my province through the programs that we do as SAWID and through young people, women that I'm working with in my province.
I will advance peace and development through dialogues in my province.
We will advance peace and development in our province through working together, with other partners in the province.
So I will advance peace and development work in Namibia through the SADC Gender Protocol Alliance. So the implementations of the activity that we are doing in Namibia. Thank you.
Through with entrepreneurship and business skills and SRHI to young women in rural areas in Lesotho.
Advance peace and development by spreading more love and kindness, because you cannot go wrong with love and kindness.
Because I am in women economic empowerment in Botswana. When we were still coming with the buses, I was bringing women from Kasane. For those of you who know of or have heard where Kasane is, it is near the border to Zambia. We were picking
The conference was an empowering, informative conference.
The conference was healing.
Conference was empowering.
Conference was amazing.
Hello, my name is Luwata Musisiwe. I'm from the Eastern Cape. I am here to speak on behalf of Eastern Cape about Yori Somamela, our late sister, our late coordinator. As the Eastern Cape people, we are very honored to have been led by Sis Yori Somamela. She was a leader. She was a person who cared for Eastern Cape and all its people. She was an activist. She was a person who was passionate about women empowerment. And now that she is no more, we promise that as the Eastern Cape, we will continue to do what she has been doing, and we will do more, and we will carry the vision to the rest of Eastern Cape.
It's been 20 years since we started this organization together. To our dear provincial coordinators, thank you. Thank you for your selfless dedication to the women of South Africa, volunteering your time, your energy, and your resources. 20 years down the line, we can see the fruits of your labor. We hope you will be proud of yourself as much as we are proud of you. May the journey continue beyond 20 years.
And also, it was great to see showcased also the all the partners from the region, the African Women in Dialogue from Tanzania, Mozambique, Eswatini, Lesotho, Botswana, Malawi, Seychelles, Mauritius, Comores, so many. This kind of interaction with women across the region is really, really wonderful and special. And so thank you very much to you all. I would like to call upon somebody from one of the organizations that are here from Mozambique, the Gender and Sustainable Development Association. And she will speak about an exhibition that they have just outside the room here, which links directly to the topic that we had in this last panel on technology and innovation and work that they are doing in using technology and innovation. And this was something that was raised this morning for the needs of people living with disability, as well as the broader community. So I'd like to call upon Claudia Furtado, who is the program manager manager at the GSDA, to just tell us a bit about the project so that after this proceedings, you can go and see the work that they are doing outside. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Kunjani, habari jambo. How are you, ladies? So I'm here in the name of representing more specifically the delegation of Mozambique under our prestige director, Dr. Elise Vance. I'm today here as well as an electronic engineer, and as following those panelists that we saw and heard today, I'm very passionate about tech for development. So the project we are conducting in Mozambique, it's called Ability Plus. It's GSDA's project for catalyzing Mozambique's tech for dev revolution, one bottle at a time. So what we are doing is creating a circular economy that recycles bottles from the bottom of the bottle and the tops completely. We will have the opportunity to show you some of the machines we have already in place to do this for the bottom part, because the other machines we have are quite heavy and you couldn't bring it to SAWID to show you everything. So we'll just inspire you a little bit and then we can continue the conversation. So, for your information, for example, we have the bottle tops. These bottle tops can do a lot of items, just like, for example, this racket. We can do a lot of other things that can help us not only empower people with disabilities, but empower youth to look at technology not in a strange way, like we see and we have talked about technology like AI and industrial revolution. We can have other technologies, for example, 3D printing, which is a much easier technology to introduce young people to get them interested in projects like this. So not only can we do rackets, we can do boats, we can do chairs, we can do glasses. So the possibility for scaling this project to empower people, to give them profit, and to make them excited about having the voice to change the waste of plastic we are living is what we are doing. So we invite you all to get to know us a little better and maybe create a conversation and brainstorming to create some partnerships with people from all over SADC to upscale our project from Mozambique to other regions that we have here. So if you are interested in collaborating with us and knowing more about the project, please feel welcome to come for our booth just outside the plenary at your left. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Claudia. This is so you guys must come and go to their table and look at that racket up close. It's amazing. It's really, really remarkable, the kind of work that is happening. I'd now like to introduce our next panelists. Our next panel is really going to be people from partner organizations that are doing incredible work, that will be speaking to all of us about what their organization is about, what it is that they're doing, and how SAWIDians more broadly can leverage their work and really find partnerships and links, because we are the ones we have been waiting for. So first, I would like to call from Women Deliver, Ms. Dieketeng Diale. Ms. Diale. Next, I would like to call up to join me somebody that is no stranger to SAWID and to all of us as South Africans from the Pan-African Women Organization, Ms. Batabile Dlamini, former minister. Malibongwe. Mali. Malibongwe. Igama lamakhosikazi. Malibongwe. Thank you. Next, I would like to call from African Women Leadership Network, Ms. Mabatu Ramahoshi. And then I would like to call from the International Women's Forum South Africa, Ms. Irene Chandley. IWFSA is a global organization of over 7,800 women leaders across 34 countries. And then the thorn amongst the roses is he here, Patrick, who is here from UN Women, and will be speaking to us about a project and a program of UN Women's that will be of interest, I know, certainly to the YSAWidians after the conversation that we had earlier on today. So YSAWidians, you'll be very interested in this one. So without further ado, I'd like to call upon Sis Diegetzeng to come up for tell us more about Women Deliver.
I'm on a timer for 6 minutes. Peace be with you all. Program Director, please allow me to stand on existing protocols. And happy 20th anniversary to the South African Women in Dialogue, SAWID. And most importantly, to its Chief Visionary Officer and founder, our former First Lady, to the President of the Republic of South Africa, Mezanele Mbeki, together with her team and led by Mam Togo Mpumlwana. Without a doubt, SAWID indeed is the one organization we have been waiting for. In my humility and gratitude to SAWID, I'm reminded of what SAWID has really done for the women of our country, South Africa. When I see women in their diversity gathered in this August hall, I see leaders from Limpopo, I see leaders from Northwest, Bomme Sina Masemola, Borakadi Tulase, Aus Vivienne from Northwest, and some who are my fellow gender focal points that are present here in this room. The likes of Me Anna Oliphant, Mena Lady Masipa, and others whom together we served the late Me Ramokone Moloto, and may his soul rest easy, the former First Lady of Limpopo Province, as the Secretariat of SAWID Limpopo chapter in 2006 to 2009. It was mandatory that the gender focal points serve and support SAWID back in the days. I don't know what's happening now. Women Deliver 2023 was made possible by one of the SAWID trustee members, who is the former advisor to the Minister of Women, Youth, and Persons Living with Disability, the convener of the Generation Equality Forum, the current Secretary General of the African Women Leaders Network, AULIN, Ausmabato Ramakhoshi, who shared the Women Deliver 2023 conference invite to all interested parties to apply for a fully sponsored trip to Rwanda, Kigali. I applied and was successfully selected and attended, and I really want to thank you, Ma, for the opportunity. Women Deliver Conference 2023 was a week filled with extraordinary energy. At this moment, we want to congratulate our former Deputy President of South Africa, the former UN Women Executive Director, and current Chairperson of the Women Deliver Board of Trustees, Mephumzile Mlambo Ngcuka, and her President and the Chief Executive Officer, Maliha Khan, and her team for such a riveting experience we had in Rwanda. At the Women Deliver 2023 conference, together we connected with our collective experiences, power, rage, but above all, hope. To galvanize change, spaces were created. We all joined in solidarity. We fought for solutions whilst the work still continues. In attendance were more than 6,000 feminists representing 170 countries, 240 journalists and content creators, 600 scholarships recipients, and over 87 sponsors and funders, and over 10,000 people joining online and more. So the outcomes of the conference, of the Women Deliver Conference, are as follows: a new commitment to work with others to effectively counter the anti-rights movement, a campaign launched by over 40 organizations to close the gender nutrition gap. Canada also announced more than $200 million in funding as part of the She Soars initiatives. The Kigali Call to Action, United for the Women and Girls' Bodily Autonomy, a new Women Deliver Emerging Leaders program that will put more trust-based funding into the hands of young people. That's an opportunity for all our young people to participate in. Truly, the seed to strengthen our solidarity and unity now and long into the future was planted. With the SAWID 20th anniversary celebration under the theme Advancing Peace and Development, we are more resolute to create and contribute to the spaces for peace and development in the region and globally. As an attendee of the Women Deliver 2023 and a co-convener of the Generation Equality Forum, Women, Peace and Security, Humanitarian Compact, as well as the AULIN Gauteng coordinator for the Peace and Security Pillar, I had an opportunity to connect with more than 10 countries for solidarity action in peace and development work from the Women Deliver 2023. A call to action, we are saying, today, as we commemorate and celebrate the International Day for Peace under the theme Action for Peace, our ambition to the global goals. Lopeco, the Lady of Peace Community Foundation, is inspired to take action and shape its contribution to solutions for peace and development. There was a peace bell that was supposed to be rung right now as a call to action to remember the peace work that everyone is doing. But today, right now, I want to share with you that Lopeco is about to use the artificial intelligence in launching a peace game called the Peace Card. Today, and humbled to share that the Peace Card game is developed based on the National Action Plan on Women, Peace and Security, as well as the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide pillars to increase conflict prevention efforts and improve cohesion from the family unit level up. So the call to action is for us to go and play the peace card. Peace begins with me. In our homes, schools, churches, workplaces, and everywhere, we invite everyone to contact us and take this initiative forward and organize a peace match for you. We build peace one card at a time in every corner of the world. I thank you.
Thank you so much. And the idea of those peace cards, I think, is such an important one in our country right now, but I think all over the region. And we've forgotten, I think, in our history that we come from such a history of violence, and we see it play out in so many different ways. And so it's really important. Thank you so much for that. I'd now like to invite Mamba Tabile to come and tell us more about the Pan-African Women's Organization, which is an organization of women across the continent and that has been operating since 1962. Thank you so much, Meh.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Let me greet the leadership of SAWID, more particularly the trust and the board, as well as the volunteers, because this work would not be of this standard if they were not there. POWER was established on the 31st of July, 1962. POWER was established before the OAU. So it's a very old organization. And we feel honored as POWER for being invited to the 20-year anniversary of SAWID. POWER is a specialized agency of the African Union. We also have a status in the United Nations ECOSOC. The president right now is Namibia, and she is permanent, as well as the Secretary General, who is from Uganda. She's also full-time. We have 4 presidents that come from different regions of Africa, as well as executive secretaries of different regions of Africa. I'll briefly touch on the pillars of POWER, our focus areas. The first one is on social, the first one is on food security. And I think we all know that women are marginalized when it comes to the issues of food production. And therefore, we thought it was important for us to have a pillar on food security. The second one is partnerships. We know that there is no organization that can stand on its own. without having partners, more particularly in Africa. And in our last conference, we decided that we want to have a formal relationship with Aulin. And we also have a relationship with African Union FemWise. One other pillar is the pillar of financing of the Pan-African women's movement. And we've linked that to the reconfiguration of power. Because we all know that power was formed by political organizations. And other women have not had an opportunity of joining a power because you must be a member of the ANC and ANC Women's League to be part of the Pan-African Women's Organization. So women thought that we must open up, and we can see most organizations are opening up. And we can also see the reconfiguration that is taking place in many organizations, because we believe when we bring women from different sectors, we are going to be stronger. So partnerships are very important in power and for the growth of power. There are many associations that have approached us, many women's organizations that have approached us that want to be part of a women that continue with the struggle for women's emancipation. Others are individual feminists, but they have not found expression in power. Why? Because power belongs, or power members are members of particular political organizations. Like the PAC in South Africa was there when power was established, and they are members of power. And then the Women's League was there when power was established, and therefore we are members of power. But women in business, professional women, intellectuals, faith-based organizations, NGOs that are very critical in different areas or in our countries have not found a space within power. And that is why we think power must be opened up. Another pillar is the pillar of solidarity. Program director must tell me when. Yeah. We've decided to pledge a solidarity with Sahrawi women, because we believe it is important that we are not just an organization for the sake of being an organization. We know that South Africa, for instance, is a product of solidarity. And therefore, it is important for us to be part of those that are pledging solidarity with women. Lastly, I'm not going to read everything. Lastly, we also have a pillar on peace and security, because women get affected more by violence, or when there is war and armed conflict. So we thought we should strengthen this pillar so that we can work and ensure that there is peace in Africa. And without peace, we all know they can't be development. So it's very important that we form a peace, work with other organizations. And we've already intervened on what is happening in countries like Niger. We have done something. We've sent a delegation there because we believe we must be with women during difficult times. Thank you very much. Happy 20 years, SAWID.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I think the issues of food security have come up so much in the conference. I think we must just buy SAWID farms all over the country, silime and feed ourselves. It's come up so much over the course of the last week, as well as this issue of opening up power to other organizations. I think is really critical, especially as we see. I study politics. That's my day job, and when we see how few young women are members of political parties, and so for the sustainability of an organization like Power, I think that was really a good move. I have been, birthdays are full of surprises. And so I have been given a surprise that we've got a surprise performance coming up now before we continue with the panel by Midnight Uzo. Woo! I don't know if, hey, Midnight. Okay, let me take a seat and. Sure, guys. Now, I'm my birthday, abantu. All sorts of things. Oh, wonderful. Here she comes. Oh, wow, this is going to be a good one. Give her a round of applause to Midnight Uzo. I think we can do it after the panel because I think they're setting up there. I was asked during the panel, but I think let's wait until after the panel. And let's then call upon our next speaker, Sis Maba, to tell us about the African Women Leadership Network, which had an amazing launch last year. Really excited to hear what's been done since.
Malibongwe. Presenter, the PowerPoint there. Halala. I'm here to speak about African Women Leaders Network, which is AWLIN. And in South Africa, it was launched in 2021. AWLIN is a network that is from maybe let me hold it. Yeah, okay. Okay. That's much better. Okay, AWLIN was launched in South Africa in 2021, and AWLIN has co-conveners, which is the previous executive director of UN Women, Mepumzile Mlabonquka, and the special envoy on women, peace and security, Bineta Diop in the AU. It's an organization that is supported by both the AU and the UN, and the chairpersons of AU and the SG of UN are champions of AWLIN. I thought let us go to the next one. I've got only 6 minutes, so I've got 2 minutes per slide to deal with this. So with regards to who we are, AWLIN is a continental platform that galvanizes women's leadership of Africa. AWLIN is a continental platform to galvanize women's leadership of Africa towards lasting peace and sustainable development in all sectors and at all levels. It builds on and works with existing women's network like Power, with the support of the African Union and the United Nations. The network builds on African women leadership to increase women's participation in decision-making through peer learning. We've got a lot of coaching and mentoring, enhanced solidarity so that women work together, advocacy, capacity building, among other strategies that we use. AWLIN Global was established at the UN in June 2017. The mission of AULIN is to galvanize women's leadership of Africa towards lasting peace and sustainable development in all sectors and at all levels, building on and working with existing women's network. So if you belong to any network, you in AULIN, you've got a home. The vision of AULIN is transformation through women's meaningful leadership. And most of our leaders in AULIN and the champions have been women who in their own right have been presidents in the continent. Our patron, Mayor Helen Sirleaf Jones, Mayor Banda, the present president of Tanzania, the present president of Ethiopia. And the vision really is to ensure that we don't have these 4 women in the continent of 2 countries that are presidents. We want to see as many women in the continent being president in their own right, not when a president dies who's a man and they're replaced, or there's a coup they're replaced, in their own right, like in Liberia and in Ethiopia. Now, AULIN is organized in 6 pillars. The first pillar of AULIN is governance and political participation. The second pillar is peace and security. The third pillar is finance and women's entrepreneurship. The fourth pillar is youth leadership. The fifth is agricultural economy. And the last pillar is social mobilization. Presently, since our launch, all 9 provinces have AULIN chapters. And the strategy for the country was that we are going to mobilize according to the 6 pillars. So each province has a coordinator and a deputy for pillar number 1, pillar 2, 3, 4, 5, until pillar number 6. And there are members who are belonging to those pillars and addressing the issues that affect the pillar. Even though we know that some of the issues, they correlate in more than one pillar. Therefore, there are people who belong to more than one pillar. There are WhatsApp groups where they engage around issues. At the moment, the most active pillar that we have in the country is the governance and political participation. We already had 2 bills that we have made submission as AULIN, and those have been led by the governance and political participation. We made a submission in the marriage bill. We had a workshop first, engaging around the bill itself, and we made a submission. The second pillar, even though it was spearheaded by the finance and women's entrepreneurship, even the governance pillar came on board, which is the public procurement bill. We also have done our submission as AULIN. Agriculture economy is very, very active in all provinces, especially the KZN branch and Gauteng branch. Peace and security, one of the most active is Gauteng, under the leadership of Media Ketseng. And as AULIN and members of the global community, we have had many, many workshops around peace and security, but also we have sent delegations, AULIN, to Niger, to DRC. We are going to send delegation to Sudan. And we've asked the different provinces to send us the list of women who have been trained as mediators so that they're part of the peace mission. So make sure that you belong to an AULIN in the province and send your name so that when there is a mission, we will also have participation from South Africans to participate in the mission. Youth leadership, this is a pillar of young people by young people. So even those that are young at heart, you can be outside there. However, your role is that you have to be a mentor or a coach. So we have requested a lot of older women who wanted to be part of this pillar, that actually you must be part of the pillar, but as a mentor, because this is their space to make sure that we also build this generation that is leading now, but it's going to be leaders of tomorrow. So we've got a constitution that is a global constitution with clear aims and objectives. So if you are a member, if you want to become a member as an organization, as a network, and when you say networks, from academic, the financial sector, political participation, you can't be participating if we don't bring all political parties on board, because we are going to elections next year. How are we preparing younger women to be standing in their own rights as candidates to be in parliament? So this is our constitution. I'm not going to read it, but one of the things that is important that is driving Aulin, besides the economic empowerment, besides making sure that women occupy those positions, we want a sort of a region, a continent that is free of conflict and violence. And without women taking those positions, we would not have conflict, because men, as you see, our continent seems to resolve conflict only by using violence. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mayor, for telling us more about Aulin. And I love the approach to youth leadership that, yes, older women be there, but be there as mentors. Older women don't talk enough to younger women, except Ugustetis. And me, even now, I'm an older woman now too. But I remember being 18, 20 years old, and the only time older women speak to you is to chika you for something that you did. So it is very good, I think, to be opening these lines of dialogue and conversation. I'd now like to call on Mayor Irene Chandley, an older woman that I really admire, to speak to us. And please, can we get the podium, the mic stand back?
I said you should count my minutes when the mic is here.
Yes. You'll see, I'll switch it on when the mic is here.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good. Now we start. Good afternoon, everybody, and good afternoon. Are there men in the room? Yes, and good afternoon, our brothers and our cherished sisters of South African Women in Dialogue. I had something written down, but I decided let me just speak from what we do. So I am the president of the International Women's Forum, South Africa. As we said earlier, it's an organization. It'll be part of a global organization of 7,800 women across 34 countries and all 6 continents. We're very strong, so it's small groups. It's preeminent women. It's women who are leaders, women who have achieved in business, in the arts, in the science, and in other areas. So it's a small group, and you actually get invited to join the group. SAWID, this is an organization that was actually brought to South Africa 22 years ago by Ma'am Zanele Mbeki. Ma'am Zanele Mbeki also is the same person. That's what we call visionary leadership. She's also the same person who started and brought SAWID together, who started. So we work very, very closely with SAWID in the same way that SAWID women get together on a regular basis and they have healing sessions. They talk to each other. They inspire one another. The same way the International Women's Forum globally, one of the things we do is champion women equality worldwide. We also use the network to inspire each other and create a space for women who are at the top, successful women, to engage with one another in a safe space and inspire each other. Now, what do we do? There are a few things very, very important that we say when we give back to society, it has to have impact. What are the first things that we've done 2 years ago? We said that for gender-based violence and femicide, Women have been waiting for a very long time. There's a national strategic plan, there's objectives, but government hasn't been able to put everything together. We decided we went to the private sector to raise money to set up a gender-based violence and femicide response fund. We raised 150 million rand. We put down a board of directors, independent, they manage the money, and I can say as of today, they have supported about 160 NGOs across all provinces and legal organizations that help to support the women. If there are any organizations here who's involved in gender-based violence, get onto the GBVF Response Fund. They are there to support NGOs as well. Second aspect that we also do is to ensure that we have a catalytic strategy. We've partnered with various organizations, including SAWID and other women's organizations, because we see ourselves as a convener of the various organizations so that we can actually implement things. So one of the core of the catalytic strategies is ensuring that women take their rightful place when they're in businesses, in executive position, chairman, in the board, at senior management positions. So we've looked at legislation to see what changes do we bring about. I'm not sure how many of you know that recently, about a week ago, there was comments that had to be been submitted on the government procurement bill. Not many people made comments, or women organizations made comments on this bill. In this bill, they said it's a preference that 40% of all government procurement must go to women-owned businesses. So they asked for comments. So how many organizations did comment on that? We did. We submitted our comments, and we actually went and made physical presentation. And we said, we agree 40%, but let's do it 50, because we represent 50% of society, in fact, 51% of society, that it should be legislated that 50% of all procurement should go to women-owned businesses, and we need to monitor and ensure that that's there. Interestingly, when we went, the day we submitted or presented in Parliament, there were 9 organizations, including COSATU, many other organizations. We were the only one who specifically focused on that woman has to be part and women. So these are some of the things that we do. So that's a procurement bill. So there's various input we've given to legislation to ensure that there's specific legislative changes as far as women is concerned, and women should be mentioned. So alongside when we say Black economic empowerment, we have to talk about women, and in specifically African Black women. This is the stuff that we are also focused on. The third and most important that we're doing is developing the next generation of women leaders. What have we done? So we partnered with the finance and accounting SETA. Remember, they have the money. How do we spend the money? We partnered with them, and then we got Duke University's Duke Corporate Education, and we agreed that we are going to develop and train 1,000 women over a 3-year period. We started in October 2022. Will end in, this is the 11-month program, okay? So there's groups of women, 30 women in each cohort. These are women in the finance and accounting sector. This is very important that I actually say this. This is a structured program with different modules, intersessions. The women also go one week a year in their program. They go overseas as well, and they look at what other people are doing. What is important, these are all our women, professional women that work in treasury, auditor generals, SASSA, in the banks, auditing firms. They are our women, young women. What is significant is these women are then mentored one-on-one by IWF, both local women and international women. So they have this in relationship and the confidence that's being developed. And we know, so 65 have graduated. Currently, there are 480 on the program. We've opened up, we've already oversubscribed. The other 480 starts next April. And we will have 1,000 women who will be in September 2025 who can take their rightful place, firstly, in politics and in the economy, in business. And that's what we are trying to create as well. So if there are any of the women here, your family, the women who are, they are working, they're in finance, bring them, let them apply. Because so, and then in addition to that, we also have the Young Leaders Connect, where young women, we actually mentor young women so that they become confident in themselves and they can take their rightful place in society. Last but not least, sorry, Madam MC, a program director, I just wanted to also say this, it's not our organization, but we work with them. There's an organization called We Think Code. If there are any woman anywhere in the country who has got children, nephews, nieces that are below the age of 30, they stay from school, they want to do coding. This organization have raised funding, like us, they're a non-profit organization, they've raised funding, we also fund and help to support them. They are youngsters, thousands of children. They are training to do code, and then once they complete it with their studies, they actually get them a job within the industry as well. That's what we do, IWFA South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Irene. And I think that, you know, this idea of IWF really living those words by Mayor Charlotte Matleke, that if you can rise, bring someone with you. Bring some with you. And I think that's really the ethos behind IWFSA. Lastly, we had, and this has sort of snuck into the program, but it was an important thing to sneak in because of the conversations that were happening with YSAWidians this morning. And so we'd like to hear about a platform that UN Women has for women to platform their businesses.
Sanbonani. Greetings to everyone. My name is Patrick Ngomani Sbongo. I'm from Pumalanga under the Mbombela municipality. By profession, thank you. By profession, I'm a data scientist. I did my postgraduate at VETS, I think in 2014. Currently, I'm with the United Nations Women, serving as a data consultant under the Women in Economic Empowerment division, under the capable leadership of Ayanda Mvimbi. I think some of you might have seen her yesterday. She delivered wonderful work here. In the context of why we're here today and the wonderful work which has been done by all the ecosystem partners in the room and some of them behind me, SAWID being one of them, Charlotte Manya-Matlege and the likes, the Department of Women, Youth with Disabilities. We are here to inform you about a project which is a multi-stakeholder project called Buy From Women. In a room full of a lot of women, this means that if you're a woman and you run a business or you have an aspiration to run a business, this is your project to make sure that we shine a spotlight on the great work which you are putting on a day-to-day basis, and also spotlight on the work which has been put on by the stakeholders behind me. Why is Buy From Women important? In 2023, we are going to leverage technology. The previous panelists have spoken about how AI and machine learning has been used to make sure that the woman in Mabopane finds a woman producing avocados in Vembe district in Limpopo. So what does that mean to you? If you're a woman and you are running a business, we'd like you to reach out to your most convenient YSAWidian stakeholder leader, such that they can link you up to the UN Women database, which is me. Or while we're here today, across that door, which I'm trying to point out on that side, we do have a banner which is written UN Women and also Buy From Women. The idea is that you register your business. What happens then when you're in that business? There's two things. There are women who might think of starting a business. We expose them to different stakeholders. That can be CEDA, that can be CIFA, that can be partners in the private space. That can be other partners in the development agencies such as your Belgium and the likes, who like to take you through a mentorship and coaching journey, as the previous speaker has shared, such that you can go through a journey in which by the time the 40% procurement bill gets finalized, you are ready to meet the demand of the market. Then there are women who already have products and services which are ready to service markets. Those women would like to expose your products to other markets outside this room. So that's effectively giving access to markets, at the same time giving access to information and resources for training, and also how to effectively run your business and sustain it, right? The other most important part is that on the Buy from Women ecosystem, you are able to have access to learning material which teaches you how to start a business, run one, manage risk, mitigate risk, and also grow across your enterprise development life cycle. So this really represents a hope for the wonderful work which we've been doing. I would really advise everyone in here to get in contact with your provincial or most convenient SAWID-based stakeholder, any of the stakeholders behind us, if we leave this room today, so that you can get in contact with Buy from Women. We are trying to target 10,000. We'd like to get more, because we do know that in this country, women are definitely doing a lot, including Mama Wami and some of the females in my life. So we'd like to properly document them such that by the time after BRICS Forum and the 40% procurement bill, if any of the partners say, where do we find these women? We'd like them to go to the Buy from Women platform, literally find a woman in Vembe who's I'm a veggie, then start procuring from them, or partner with them, or mentor them, or be mentored by them. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you so much. And that is, it's such an incredible idea and such a great platform. And we know that we women are going to create the jobs of this country through our businesses, through the work and the partnerships that we do. And so really, I encourage you all to find out more about Buy from Women. Thank you so much to our panelists. Let's give them all a round of applause. And thank you to SAWID for bringing us together, for bringing together all these women and all these organizations from incredible places to continue the work that has been done over the last 20 years. So I'm going to ask our panelists to go back to your seats, and we're going to end off the day with 2 live performances. The first one, and I'd like to call her up, first, starting with Khumutso Buthelezi, who is going to give us a poetry performance. We are very excited. And can I ask Midnight Uzo to be on standby to come up afterwards?
Weno sembo singaba pinatina. Weno sembo singaba pinatina. Singaba sepkosini. Weno sembo singaba pinatina. Singaba sepkosini. Weno sembo singaba pinatina. Tandaza. There is always enough to go around, but you don't have to ask me twice. I will share. After all, what kind of citizen would I be if I did not fulfill my social responsibility of letting all of you know just how good this pie can be? Easily spotted amongst its peers, it is undoubtedly the most tempting in its tier. It never lacks in any department, whether it be in quality, presentation, or taste. It is no wonder we choose it above the pumpkin pie, apple pie, steak and kidney pie, etc., etc. With the firmest exterior, it houses the softest interior. See, its aim is always to bluff, but funny enough, you never fail to laugh. It husbands your thoughts and leaves you lusting for more, captivating your senses, leaving absolutely nothing to the imagination, stroking your ego to gain access to your figures, working its way south to the bosoms of your stout. You see, he had a very good mother who warned him never to play with his food. But clearly, she did not have the ebony pie in mind. You must be wondering where to find it. Well, let I put thee out of thy misery. It is not served in restaurants, neither those uppity places graded with stars, or those fancy hotels that overcharge you for everything you find in your own fridge. You see, more often than not, they fight over it. They call each other names over it. Get the whole nations involved over it. They even swear never to eat it once it has shared its space with other pies that aren't of its kind. Although they'd like to believe they do, they rarely seem to mind, just as long as they get their own little piece of this melanin dripping pie. That is a woman. In 2010, I was hijacked and I was shot 8 times. And I'm only going to do this poem again because I have been requested to. Screams of panic. What happened? I heard gunshots. It seems she was attacked, but we were all watching. But violence should not equal silence. But violence should not equal silence. I will not forget how cold you were towards me when I was on your stage. You pretended not to connect what a con acts while you were there to collect. Yes, it was a familiar dialect, and I was direct, hoping we wouldn't die yet. Leaving after effects while you choose to elect your ill acts, creating artifacts of what the heart affects. I will not forget how cold you were towards me when I recited on your stage. I recited all the rage and reignited all your flames. See, you were once fame. But that was long before your games. Long before you came and left her body lame, you did not leave her the same. You did not even want to know her name. Yes, all you saw was a dame that you could tame, even if it was just for a day. I will not forget how cold you were towards me when I played on your stage, in your cage, where only you could engage. Screams of a panic. What happened? I heard gunshots. It seems she was attacked, but we were all watching. But violence should not equal silence. But violence should not equal silence. But violence should not equal silence. But violence should not equal silence.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that powerful performance. Mum Cindy Ramakona said earlier today that, writing pain is so healing. And I think we've just seen an illustration of that. Lastly, I'd like to call on Midnight Uzo to perform one closing song for us. I'm going to say, because we're going to have the performance, and then you'll all clap, and then it'll be rowdy. So I'm going to right now say that after this performance, we will all go back to our rooms, change. Gala dinner tonight is in Terminal B. Be there from 6:30 tonight. So you've got time to titivate, to wear your nice things. And so 6:30 sharp, please be there at Terminal B, which is one of the venues here for the gala dinner tonight. It's been a pleasure being your MC today. And I hope I will see you all this evening. Thank you. Midnight Uzo, ladies and gentlemen.
It's wrong. Oh, it is. That's embarrassing. Sanbonan and abantu that are online. Sanbonan Makaya. My name is Midnight Uzo. I'm a musician and an academic because, you know, women in academia also matter. I'm going to be singing a song that I've become very attached to. It's called Luvuyo. And yeah, I really enjoy it. I write my own songs. And the reason I'm called Midnight Uzo is because at midnight, I'm asleep, figitulo, and midnight Uzo, vuka. And it has to happen. So I hope you enjoy it. It is about love and soulmates. In my dreams, I saw you stand with some, and maybe soft as lahlane. But come to me, let's dance together. And maybe then kuzoba isikhathi sethu, because nguwe uluvuyo, that's all that you're good for. Nguwe uluvuyo, that's all that you're good for. Sithando sami, sondela come here, sithando sami, sondela come here, siri wami, sondela come here, sithando sami, love you wami. I tell myself, Kingazi Katazi, soon you and Mrs. Nandini. And right now I might be some stranger, but later surface lahlane, because Guwe Ulubuyo is all that you're good for. Guwe Ulubuyo, that's all that you're good for. Stand with some, Sondela come, you stand with some. Sondela come, you city one. Sondela come, you stand with some. Love you one. My joy, my love, my pain, my life, there's so much I wanna give to you. My joy, my love, my pain, my life, there's so much I wanna give to you. My joy, my love, my pain, my life, there's so much I wanna give to you. My joy, my love, my pain, my life, there's so much I wanna give to you. joy, my love, my pain, my lover. My joy, 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 my love, my pain, my life. There's so much I wanna give to you. My joy, my love, my pain, my life. There's so much I wanna give to you. My joy, my love, my pain, my life. There's so much I wanna give to you. So much I wanna give to you. So much. Come on, you can join now. My joy, my love, my pain, my life. There's so much I wanna give to you. My joy, my love, my pain, my life. There's so much I wanna give to you. My joy, my love, my pain, my love. There's so much I wanna give to you.
That was Midnight Uzo. Thank you. And see you all tonight.